Welcome back. This is Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today we're going to be looking at Biolase, company with the ticker BIOL. Now, what I want to look in here is how technical analysis works with offerings. And this is very important because technical analysis does not only predict or show the kind of psychology of the investors and their head actions, but the news that comes with it can really affect a company's ticker's price. So we're looking here around 3 months, 1 day period, and we can already see with some average directional index that it has been a little bit sloppy. It hasn't been seeing anything above, let's say, 50. And I've already said before, I like to trade with stocks that are above 25 and 50. It appears to have a green movement, 2 green movements, and that's kind of a little bit hard to see in previous times. It has seen a few green days, and that's a good sign. And it was around 25 and I would say 30. But I want to talk about the anomaly that we're seeing here. Now, in terms of averages, the averages look quite alright in this period. 10 SMA is above 30 EMA. This company had an offering today, and the stock was halted, I think, around until 11:30. I'll go through the news in a bit, but I want to show you what the previous movement before the offering, and that can kind of give a little bit of an indication to what the movement would be after the offering is closed. Now, the stock was oversold at the end of the day, and it was overbought the day before. So that might be a little bit of a bad situation to be in when you're overbought. That can kind of show a reversal, but when stocks jump this much, that's normal. We're looking at momentum here, and the momentum, of course, is lost because of the offering, but when we look at the MACD, we still see a good movement even after the drop. Now, the second bar is smaller than the first bar, and that's a little bit of bad news, but this is affected by the offering. Now, the volume that it has seen is almost equal, and it's actually been gaining a little bit more volume in the last 2 days before the offering, which is a good sign. We can see here what happens. This is what I call pumping and dumping, right? The stock gets pumped up so high, and then it gets dumped right away, and then you're going to end up stuck with a stock that is trading sideways. But it appears to be in the last few days that's not been the case with BIOL. I've seen this ticker around a few times, and it's one of the things that I'm very interested in. I actually bought a few shares in it, just something very small position at around 539, 540. So I'm going to be looking at a little bit of different things here. So I'm going to look at it a bit closer into the 1 month, 1 day. We get to see here. So what we can see is, on a closer level, what the current supports and resistance and pivot points that are being met. Let's look into 1 month, 1 hour, just to get a little bit of better scale. And the first thing I want to look at is Fibonacci retracement. Now, I mentioned this before, and let's see if the tool here gives us anything that we're looking for. And once I put it, you can see that the stock actually did touch 0.54, and that's a Fibonacci retracement number. And this is why I still always check this. Now, 0.54 is not a strong support or a strong resistance. 0.53 is what the support is at. 0.54 is the Fibonacci retracement. And you can see that through the chart, it's been trading around 0.54 more than 0.53. And when you're placing an order, when you're trying to catch this stock on a dip, for instance, or on a pullback, you want to understand what the price range is, and this is a very important indication to do so. Now, looking at the MACD in a daily scale, of course, the offering here affected it, but I'm trying to basically direct to what would have been the next movement. So it's been increasing. Pre-markets or extended markets and after markets usually are a little bit of a halt, so that's normal to see in terms of this action here. It was a bit slow, plus the stock was halted, so kind of expecting that situation here to happen. When we're looking into the start of the day, you can already see that the reversal was very strong, and that was due to the offering. Now, the offering for this stock, if I'm correct, here, let's just check out how much it was. 64 cents per share, and that's 6.9 million additional dollars worth of shares, which isn't a bad thing. Now, we were seeing that a big movement that was going upwards, so my expectation is if I go in around 54 cents, I can probably sell it around the 60 to 70 range. And we're talking about probably easy a 10% return. Talking about 10% return on $4,000, that's $400 in 1-2 days. That's pretty good sweet money. You have some laying around for a quick flip in the short term. So what is the next action that we might be seeing? Now the stock is being heavily oversold. So that is a good indication for me that the stock would probably see a reversal in that period. Now, what is another thing? Average directional index. This is being a bit sloppy and it's not reliable since we had an offering. So this usually affects more of an average, so it's not reliable. The 10 SMA is still above the 30 EMA, which is a good sign, but then we also had an offering. So I'm also looking at the day before with pre-offer offering to decide what might be the next possible situation for this stock. Overall, I've actually held a position here for around 54. I expect to hold this stock a day or two where it bounces around 5 to 10%. I don't expect to see a hard reversal in terms of losses, even though we're seeing a negative MACD. But if we go around, let's say, the 30-minute indicator, you're going to see that that trend has been negative all day and it's actually been decreasing, which is a good sign for me. And that means in the morning, you might actually see maybe a reversal. Maybe not in the morning, maybe when the offering closes. Now, when does the offering close on this? I believe it should be in a couple of days. June 10. And so around June 10, whether AM or aftermarket or extended market, I should be able to see more of a spike on this stock. So it's a good hold for a week, for the end of the week, and it should give you a little bit of a good return. This has been my DD for BIOL. Again, trade smart, and if you want me to DD any other stocks, just put the tickers down in the comment below. Again, comment, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day.